recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
Awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
Uou. Nesse ponto você tem total razão e eu tava falando exatamente isso. Fala galera, como é que vocês estão? Tudo bem? Aqui é o Cezinho e bora para mais um episódio da nossa série de Genshin Impact. Se você não conhecia o canal, já vai se inscrevendo aqui embaixo, deixa seu like, deixa seu comentário, compartilhe o canal com alguém que você goste, para estar ajudando a gente a crescer cada vez mais. Galera, é o seguinte, a gente tá com esse evento aqui acontecendo, é um evento que, como vocês podem ver, ele dá bastante recursos e ele vai dar uma arma exclusiva que a gente vai conseguir pegar só se participar desse evento, com os materiais de refinamento dela. O que acontece? A missão em si, ela tem como pré-requisito a conclusão de algumas partes da missão do Arconte em Sumero. Ou seja, a gente está muito longe disso acontecer, porque a gente está com a missão do Arconte terminando Liyue ainda. Então eu teria que fazer toda a missão do Arconte em Inazuma para depois chegar com ela em Sumero. Então a gente vai no começo rápido, que é uma outra opção que a gente tem, que a própria Royalverse fornece do jogo, para quem não tá nesse ponto da história poder participar. Ela só fala que a única coisa que pode acontecer é que um ou outro personagem podem estar presos em outras missões. E é o que tá acontecendo nesse momento. Por quê? Pra gente avançar para a missão do jogo, a gente tá com uma personagem que é a Sucrose presa na missão O Alquimista dos Rumores. E se a gente vier aqui na missão O Alquimista dos Rumores, ela é a missão lendária do Albedo, que é um personagem que a gente não viu aqui ainda na história, não viu ele ainda nos banners, mas que ele é como se fosse um mestre alquimista e a Sucrose é como se fosse a aprendiz dele. Então a gente vai fazer hoje a missão do Albedo. Yes! E a gente começa ela aqui encontrando a Rosária.
Hey! Sister Rosaria! So here you are! Choir practice is about to... I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to. Oh, but this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present. Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
Bicho tá seco, tá grosso.
Alguém acordou de mau humor, hein?
I mean, sure, but... But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you?
Fiquei esperando, achando que a Bárbara ia falar alguma coisa, só que ela não falou nada. E tipo, tinha uma frase gigantesca.
Eu tô louco? Eu pergunto. Quando eu falo isso, eu sou louco? Eu sou louco? Não, eu sou louco. Eu tô louco? Não, eu não tô louco. Eu não tô louco.
Seems like that sister's an expert in making people believe anything.
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain. Or a trickster at best.
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where. And you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that?
Caraca, chave de lógica dada com sucesso, né?
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... The honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have...
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains?
Estamos procurando por Albedo ou estamos investigando a verdade desse mundo?
If
Procurando
it's
por
him
Albedo.
you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant.
Nossa
couldn't
senhora,
care
que
what you
freira
think.
é essa, velho?
Come on then.
Esse é o Albedo, tá? É um personagem que eu gosto muito do design dele, mas infelizmente eu não tenho nem na minha conta principal ele.
Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churros? Isn't he in danger?
Relaxa, Paimon. Ai, meu Deus, tinha que chamar a atenção, né?
Who are you? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly trails unfinished.
What's up with painting hilly churls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow, look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly trails anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct form in the cyclical lives of such primitive communities. Such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from...
Hold your horses. Ugh, something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
Tchau.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? What a weird...
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Mm-hmm. We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From another world, correct?
Uau, realmente ele é muito
Excellent.
bom, assim.
If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Não sei se vocês perceberam no detalhe, mas ele é um personagem que usa gel, tá? Por isso que ele tem essa visão aqui. E ele tem essa cicatriz no pescoço, isso é um detalhe importante.
Whoa, you wanna start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be, for example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
Uou!
You can do that?
Lembra, né? Uma das coisas da alquimia era realmente criar vida. Então talvez por isso que a linha de pesquisa dele seja tão relacionada a isso.
The method I'm talking about has... It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life, but you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
É isso, né? Então a gente virou tão somente uma cobaia, né?
It's possible. But I will do everything in my time for a change of surroundings. We should be going.
Pelo menos a gente não vai congelar, né, na pesquisa. E Rosária? Vai ficar de
Albedo and that
cantinho,
traveler
né?
seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Caraca, mano, desesperada com segurança, hein? Certo, então aqui a gente tem que vir pro local de testes que o Albedo escolheu.
Paimon has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little
Eu só não entendi como ele sabe que essa semente não é desse mundo.
What's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well,
Pai,
if it
acho
turns
que
out
você
to
não
be a delicious
entendeu
fruit,
nada.
then...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines I'm any good at.
Pequeno parênteses, essa criança que ele tá falando é uma personagem chamada Klee.
The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision.
Aqui, ó.
though I can't see anything resembling one on your person. How you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature. Fascinating.
As perguntas,
And
né?
this floating child is connected to your body in some...
What a stupid question. Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible... Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder... Did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick.
Cara dela.
Or cause the waterfall south of Springfield to flow backwards.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your... Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in your research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them. Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow?
Internal flow?
How do you
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental
Ah,
reaction.
beleza. E aí explode o de dentro, né?
Sounds kinda
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything
Essa é a grande
occurs,
pergunta, Paimon.
even necessary
Essa é a
preparations,
grande
try not to
pergunta.
worry. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved, but if there is anything blocking your element, just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, yes, that's an excellent way to...
Não, não é comum um exame médico. Isso é bem pior do que um exame médico.
Você piorou? Ô meu, liga e desliga.
My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have...
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from...
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are following this line of thought. I'm sure we'll be able to establish a base.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms.
Exato!
In other words,
Não tem
beings
como.
consisting entirely a cryoregis vine, or even a whopper flower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's... In that sense, things might get difficult.
Yes, sir. That's...
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world...
Ah, it would.
Sim, voltaria para a criação do universo, porque se a gente é de mundo diferente e tem uma mesma origem comum...
Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great, I'll leave you to it. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink.
Ok, vamos pegar aqui então a
Remember to
bebidinha.
keep calm at all times. And breathe deeply if
Beber
you
a
feel
poção.
unwell.
Fale com o Albedo e obtenha conclusões. Ah, eu achei que eu só ia cair duro antes.
tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drink some?
Viu? É isso que eu tô falando, tipo, não
It
faz
was my own
sentido.
concoction,
Ainda mais de uma
of course.
pessoa que você acabou de
Only
conhecer.
natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to place that. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Tá louca, Paimon?
Then
Aí eu
again,
que me
better
ferrar.
an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are but a peculiar person. They don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example,
É, realmente ele
a
tem
human
ponto
can't
aqui, né?
understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an eye of the storm. Have I explained? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to...
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me. But starting with the premise of an elemental life form? Now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry.
2000 anos depois.
Activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is... Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased.
Droga, eu queria
What's this?
ter dado uma olhada antes.
To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to... Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them.
Eu já fiz alguns outros puzzles aqui na montanha que aparecem símbolos assim. É claro que a gente não entende o que eles são, mas eu já vi eles.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kind of
Então,
looking for unless
hora
you
de
can think of
voltar lá pro
anything better to
acampamento.
do.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until
Quer dizer-
I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
Ah, chegou a patrulheira. Ah, meu
I
Deus
most
do céu,
certainly did
Rosário.
not. And I've witnessed everything that you and I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger, drinking anonymous potions, participating in all kinds of strange experiments.
Nesse ponto você tem total razão e eu tava
I'd
falando
sooner
exatamente
believe you were
isso.
tricked than that you would be so naive.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alcohol.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with... I've investigated
Eu
everything
achei que ela já ia querer
The
cair na
only items
porrada
left
com
on
a
the
gente.
agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what the...
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. All things considered, I deem that you pose, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Mano, ela foi
Overtime?
convencida pelo que? Eu não entendi, assim.
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander,
No discurso,
a word
é
of
isso?
advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's
De
gone.
fato, ela
Mondstadt doesn't
ela
have many
tem
people
razão
like
pra
that.
caralho nisso que ela falou. Bom, vamos ver aí o que deu, né?
You're back. Good timing. You took quite a while. Did you get held
Mais
up
ou
on time
menos.
for the results? We got a myriad of data today. and it was very difficult to finish up. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just
Era isso?
Era isso? Que bosta!
But after I observed you, I had another idea.
Será que se eu pegar essa...
Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
Não entendi direito, mas ok.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement. I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, can I rely on you to stop me?
Fica aí a pergunta, então, vou deixar ela no ar, não vou explicar direito, para que vocês também sejam curiosos e fiquem curiosos. E é isso, galera, agora a gente consegue tá avançando pra missão do evento, a Sucrose não tá mais presa nessa missão, e a gente conclui aqui a missão lendária do Albedo, tá certo? Muito obrigado por você que acompanhou até aqui, espero que você tenha gostado. Não esquece, se inscreve aqui embaixo, deixa um like, deixa um comentário, compartilha o canal com alguém e segue também a gente nas redes sociais que estão aqui embaixo na descrição para você estar sendo informado quando saem novos episódios ou lives e assim por diante, tá certo? Muito obrigado de coração mesmo e até a próxima. Valeu, falou!